let's talk. From the Walking the Walk Chronicles, our psychology's got to change. Dog eat dog, or even call it our spirituality. We've got to build societal champions. Let's talk on the other side. So I'm going to talk about how our basic psychology, even deeper, maybe spirituality, needs to change. They're very related, one or the other. And, when we look at the United States and spread it out to the world now, there's this fanaticism about winning and losing and who's right and all this. And in a relative sense, all those things are important. Democrats and Republicans have differences and this and that. But I guess a key point, one of the first points I want to get into, is that people are associating their identity with something much bigger than them that they really don't have a lot of control over. I've seen our systems in play, legal, political, media, and I've, especially, through a divorce thing, I saw, where like our legal system is cracking in ways at its core. So for people to associate their identity with these, who wins an election, whatever, with these much bigger issues that maybe don't have the level of care over them that they think, is a failing. And so, I point to, rather than identity of just with a cause, if it's a cause, you're involved with it, you're rolling up your sleeves, you're getting things done, that's great. And I, associate something I call purpose, as a deeper calling for people. We all do have needs for an identity. We do have needs to know who we are. But, people are, I think, somewhat erroneously, I say this with love for folks in America, associating their whole character with something that may not have their best interest at heart and may be beyond their control. And so I believe, a stronger course is for people to develop their purpose. I talk about our societal champion training, coaching, mediation. Take a look on our website. And really to get into, defining what your purpose is. Because I think a differentiation is, if you really want to get things done, it takes work. It doesn't, take just going on a social media site, whichever one you favor, some better than others. But it's not just about expressing your view. Real change comes about because people are willing to do work. And that's where we're at. And I think psychologically, what I call our spiritual challenge, our spiritual virus, is that people are associating, are detached from, in essence, their heart, their authenticity, and deriving a lot of their, definition, quote unquote, joy, from stating an opinion, rather than going through the real process of doing the work. And, I think America's got this win at all costs. We see this win at all costs element. And what I'm getting at is that we have to look at the greater whole. We can compete hard. There's nothing wrong. I can compete as hard as anyone, whether people recognize it or not. And the point being, at the end of the day, you have to recognize you are in a competition. There is a greater whole. There is another side. You can't be merciless in your pursuit of things, because in most things in life, there are wins and losses. You win, you're happy. You lose, you learn. And you get back up and you find a better way. And in fact, I've gone through tons of, there was a stage in my life when I was much younger, I'd win a lot. And then in this other stage, I've just had to work and develop a science, which has taken 29 years. So with that, there's struggles, ups, downs, losses, all that, but you're learning. And so I think we have to shift our consciousness in that way. There's an old family friend who I see CNN's doing a show on, James Carville, whose attitude is winning is everything, stupid even, he calls people. Well, I respect the element again of Mr. Carville and winning. We go back to the father of current Senator Casey, to the late Robert Casey, governor, Senate, ran for president, a couple, and, so Carville was very involved in those campaigns, and my folks, in Scranton were very connected and all this kind of thing. So, I don't think that winning, we're reaching a stage where the calamity itself is worse than, any particular outcome. It's our frenzy, almost insect-like. And so respectfully, we've got to back off and realize that winning's got to contribute to, this is again our societal champion training, winning's got to contribute to our greater whole. In America, winning's got to contribute to America. And when I say America, I'm talking about principles of liberty and justice for all. And just because we didn't do those so well historically, we had ideals and yet we failed miserably with slavery, just because we have our traumas doesn't mean we abandon our principles. And all our, Martin Luther King said, the moral arc of the universe bends towards justice. So all our actions have to be continual progress. And the higher ideals now have to be things like liberty and justice for all, not just winning. Okay, so I think the real societal champions, the people that I want to work with in terms of training, coaching, and mediation, will adopt the notion that America as a greater whole, the planet as a greater whole, are the things we've got to heal, and have this consciousness that work hard for our perspective and do within the ideal that there are other people, and that they all our actions, no matter how strenuous and strong, have to be aimed towards healing. So again, check out our website.